All right, and the last part of the show we have is Jamie did the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, so we're going to talk to her and see what she thought about it. And
her being me, that's me.
Who else is in the room with us?
Well, you're talking about me like I'm not here.
I
man.
said Jamie went, and then we're going to talk to her, meaning you. Yeah, I'm talking to the audience here.
Got you.
We're going to have a conversation with you.
All right.
To see if it's much different than years past. So that's what we're going to do here. So before we do that, what is Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party? In case you are not aware, this is a seasonal event that occurs at Magic Kingdom beginning August 9th, which is, of course, when you celebrate Halloween.
Of course.
All the way up till October 31st of this year. The party lasts from 7 p.m. till midnight, or you can enter the park as early as 4 p.m. if you do have a party ticket. Mm-hmm. It is going to be very busy at 4 p.m. to try and do that, but you can do that as well. Yes. And a lot of people use this as a modified day ticket as well.
Yeah.
Just you get it at 4, you got some time before the party, then you have the party and all that stuff.
Sure.
And then during the party, guests can trick or treat, wear costumes, meet unique and rare characters, watch special Halloween shows, enjoy themed treats and drinks, watch a parade, and experience the fireworks show and other things as well.
Much, much more.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to talk to Jamie about. Now, I did go for a bit. I didn't stay for the party, but I was there when we got there. So we got to the Magic Kingdom around like 4:45-ish.
Yes, we had a problem with our room when we went to check in. So I think we would have gotten in a little bit earlier had it not been for that. But we got to our room and it was not ready.
Well, we walked in. It said it was ready.
We
walked in the room and there was a vacuum and a bunch of trash everywhere. And I was like,
this room is not clean.
So they changed our rooms for us, which
it was All-Star Sports, by the way. Not that, but it was fine.
Super classy. But it's
well, I told a joke with Jared. Last time we stayed at Disney, it was at Grand Floridian, and then this time we stayed at All-Star Sports, and we just went both ends of the spectrum there.
That's very true.
But
they had to change our room, which delayed us a little bit. It was in the same building at least, but that was something. But it does happen sometimes. But so we got there about 4:45, and so Jamie went through a special entrance because I didn't have a party ticket.
Yeah, he didn't have a party ticket, so he went through the day guest turnstiles or touch points, and I went through the party touch points. Got my little ribbon band thing, went through Market Street and got my candy bag. They did have a DJ there with a giant pumpkin like stand thing that was back there. That was cool. And of course, they have the golden characters and their costumes and everything. You can like statues you can take pictures with, and they had a Cruella. She wasn't out there, but her little perch was out there where I guess she's meeting guests later in the night.
Probably, yeah.
But she was not there. I didn't get to see her. She was there later, and I did get to just kind of see her from a distance, but she wasn't there when I went through, which is okay.
Okay.
So, but we wanted to eat some food before the party, and we chose to go to places that have both availability for the party and for during the day.
Yeah, so the first one we did was Casey's Corner, which we had talked about doing this on the show before. And we wanted to go here because they had a Chipotle barbecue pork and street corn hot dog. So it's an all beef hot dog with fire roasted corn, queso fresco, and cilantro. And then we got the extra long one because it was like $1 more.
We got a foot long one.
Yeah.
This is also available on fries or mini corn dogs. But because we had heard that they give you a lot of this Chipotle pork and cilantro and corn, all that stuff, they give you a lot of that. We decided to go ahead and just do the hot dog because they also give you fries with the hot dog.
And they just put it on the fries.
And so we just moved some of it onto the fries. What do you think?
So my concern going into this was like the pulled pork. It's like, it's Casey's Corner. They're not known for that. The pulled pork was actually pretty good.
It was good.
It was pretty solid.
It was.
The street corn, I liked the street corn. All of it together, though, just it wasn't the best. Like, I liked the hot dog, but all of that combined, I can't say really was a good combo together. Individually, they were all very good, but together it just seemed off. But it was fine. I would have much rather preferred like a regular hot dog with mustard and ketchup, or like a chili dog versus this.
It's too fancy for Jared.
But
it's too fancy.
Well, it's not fancy. It just doesn't really work. But I will say the Chipotle stuff and everything like that was much better on the fries. than
Yeah,
it was on the hot
absolutely.
dog.
Absolutely. Yeah. With the pulled or with the barbecue pork that's on there already, and you put it on the fries, you're getting some of that meat. You're getting some, the corn and the fry. I mean, like it feels more like it should be there. With that on the hot dog, it was good. It was a lot. It was just a lot. And I was like, okay, maybe next time I would just do the fries. So our recommendation is just don't do the hot dog or the mini dogs. Just do the fries and you'll be happy.
But again, the hot dog was good. I actually did like the hot dog.
But not with the topping.
Right. I guess it would also come down. There are some people that like hot dogs that are like, they have tons of stuff on them. I think there's like Chicago style hot dogs where it's got all sorts of things on them. So it probably depends. I just didn't think the flavors really were like complimentary. Yeah. It's like kind of like that. But
okay, fair enough. I loved it, but I loved it with the fries.
Oh, I ate everything.
It was gone.
Nothing was left behind.
Yeah.
And then we also went over to Aloha Isle as they had a Dole Whip mango and chome float. Chamoy float. Mm-hmm. So this is Dole Whip, mango Dole Whip with pineapple juice, chamoy, and chili lime seasoning.
This is new. It was $7.49, I think.
I believe so, yeah.
This was weird. It was too much. It was a little weird. It was too much.
Yeah, I'm not a big mango fan. So personally, I think I would rather have regular Dole Whip than this. The lime seasoning was interesting. It wasn't that it was bad. It just was weird.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the combination. I love mango, anything really. It was the chili lime seasoning kind of mixed together with the mango confused my tongue, I think.
I mean, I know what they're going for. But
right.
it just, in my opinion, again, I would much rather just have, maybe it's just my personality, I'd much rather have a more simplified option of just like a regular Dole Whip with the pineapple. Because basically what this is, like a Dole Whip float with like the pineapple juice and the Dole Whip. I think that's better than this.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I would get this again. It was just, again, it was one of those things where if you go for a Dole Whip, you're like, oh, I want something refreshing and sweet. This has a kick to it. And you may like that, you may not. If you don't want something that has that kick, I would not get this.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's more of like a acquired taste kind of thing. Like I just won't get it again.
Yeah.
Personally.
I would say, you probably have to like those specific things. But
for sure.
And then before I left, because I had to eventually leave, we did go do Country Bear Jamboree.
Country Bear musical.
Sorry, because
Jamboree.
they changed it. So we went and watched the new Country Bear show.
What'd you think, Jared?
So I have made it be known, like bears are terrifying monsters, and portraying bears in a light that seems friendly and like, oh shucks, I was like, it's bear propaganda. But I didn't like the first Country Bear Jamboree. So funny enough, my response, a lot of people are going to think it's funny. I actually think this show was better because I'm not a Country Bear Jamboree person. It wasn't my thing. So I think if you liked the original one, you would not care for this one as much because this one was much more. They did fix a lot of the animatronics.
Oh yeah.
They sang like more other Disney type songs, not all Country Bear stuff. So there's a much more. I think for a general audience, it's probably something more people could get into because they know the songs.
Yeah.
So I think it's much more of a taking something that was rather niche about what people liked about it and trying to make it more broad. In terms of like more people would enjoy it.
That's fair.
So all in all, I mean, I still don't like singing bears, but I actually think this was a better show because it had more mass appeal and like some of the songs they sang, and it was kind of funny. So
it was cute.
It was, I mean, I'm still not a fan of the bears, but I think this show is better than the original.
Well, the animals on the wall, like the talking heads, their eyes don't click anymore.
Essentially, you can't hear them blinking.
You can't hear them blinking.
The stuff of nightmares.
And it was, like you said, it was nice to hear the songs that we already know and just different like versions of it. So that was nice. This is not one of those shows though that I would go back and watch because I want to.
No,
I mean, I'm good for a while.
I'm good. I would have been good without seeing this, but. I did, as we were watching it, I think Jamie said me hate, and I was like, it's probably a better show than. But again, I think if you were
it's better than what was before, for sure.
I am curious about the people that were so big into it, if they liked this new show. I don't imagine they would.
There was that family in the back that they were just getting into it. Did you hear them? They were just hooting and hollering. Loving it.
I didn't hear the hooting and hollering.
They were like, woo, woohoo. Like, they loved it.
That was a great portrayal of hooting and hollering.
I had to show you.
It's kind of exactly what I thought it might be.
Thanks, Jared.
Thank you for bringing us along that journey. But yes, so
Yeah.
I suppose check it out,
Really
but it's a
improved.
better show, I think.
It's definitely improved, but still not my thing.
Agreed.
There you go.
Agreed. And then after this, I was forced to leave. I was escorted out. Not really.
Yes.
I just left on my own accord.
He left, but not before I changed into my costume, because I was joining up with the rest of my group that I was with, which was Lauren and Kendall from Zip Travel. I went with them and their one of their children each.
The CTM team.
CTM team.
Zip Travel. Yeah. Well, this is one reason why I didn't go was there was actually a ticket I could have gotten, but like it was, you guys were all going. I would have been like a fifth wheel, and I'm like, I've been to the Halloween parties, and I was like, I'll just go do some work. So it was fine. But
No, this was fine. You would have been a sixth wheel, actually.
you know what would have happened?
I was the fifth
I would have ended up with the baby because I'm good with babies, and babies like me. So I would have just been holding the baby, which I probably would have enjoyed, but because Lauren had her baby with
Lauren
her.
brought her brand new baby. Oh, he was delicious. So lovely. I loved him. Anyway, she brought him, and then Kendall brought her daughter, who was awesome. I love her. She's awesome. But anyway, we decided to go as the Rockford Peaches from A League of Their Own.
Mm-hmm.
It
was a good costume.
Baseball team.
Yeah.
That was my idea because I always wanted to go do this as a costume
Oh,
forever. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is perfect because we all could get, the costumes weren't too hot. It was okay. It was friendly for this kind of event. And we found a baby costume, or like the Tom Hanks one where he's the coach. And that's what the baby was.
Makes sense.
It was so cute.
He drooled a lot in that movie, so
he did.
Baby drool, same thing.
But it was great. It was great. We got lots of compliments all night. A lot of there's no crying in baseball yelled at us, which is great. Mostly Gen Xers and some boomers. Nobody in Gen Z really said anything. And I was like, I bet they've never seen it. Because this movie came out in 92? I don't know. It was a while. It was a long time ago. Anyway, so we got a lot of compliments, which was great. We loved it. So the first thing we did was we got in line to see Stitch. They call him Rock and Roll Stitch, I think, but it's Elvis. He's Elvis Stitch. And he meets over in Stitch's Great Escape area over there. And we have been told from multiple sources, that he starts meeting at 6:30. So you got to get in line around 6. I'm like, okay, great. So we all met over there. We were kind of dilly-dallying because there was no line yet. There's just people just kind of hanging around the area. And the cast member kept saying, hey, we're not, there's no line yet. He's not here yet. We're not setting up a line. So, me and our group and a couple other parties decided to make our own line, and we sure did. We made our own line because we were like, well, we want to see him, and so we're just going to make this line. But anyway, they filtered us into a line at about 6:30, but he still wasn't out. He didn't come out until almost 7, where he's supposed to, scheduled to come out, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But in the past, he's always been 6:30. So I don't know if he was just running late or this is the new normal, whatever it was. We ended up waiting for almost an hour, which was a lot. But we didn't miss any of the party stuff because the party started at 7.
Right.
So by the time we met him, it was 7:02 or something. Okay. And so the party started, and we're like, okay, first meet and greet done, on our way. And this is when we decided to do a lot of trick-or-treating. So we hit Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor. They have a trick-or-treating station there. We hit Carousel Progress. We hit underneath Tron. They have one where you go under the walkway. We hit Storybook Circus train station and Mickey's PhilharMagic within the first hour-ish. We also tried some treats over at Friar's Nook, and I got the spicy pork spring roll with charred pineapple and scallion dust, and that's only available during the party. And I also got the s'mores cup, which is layers of graham cracker, crumbles, chocolate ganache, chocolate popping candies, milk, chocolate panna cotta, and marshmallow cream. That's also new and available during the party and regular park hours. The spring roll was, I would give it about a 5 out of 10. It had hardly any flavor. It was weird. I didn't really taste much. It's hard to explain. And it was a little spicy, but I didn't really taste much of anything in there, which was kind of disappointing. So anyway, I would not recommend getting this. I would pass on the spicy pork spring roll. Just go to get cheeseburger rolls. Am I right?
That is your go-to.
Just saying. The s'mores cup was fine. I think we ended up finishing it, but it was just, it was sweet and the marshmallow cream, little ghosts on the top, and it was cute.
Yeah.
Now, problem with this one, and I don't know if you'll have a problem if you go to a party later, but this did not appear on the app. The s'mores cup didn't. I had to order that in person. Now, everything else was on the app. All the special party treats were on the app. This one specifically was not. So it took me a long time to wait in line to get this s'mores cup. Just FYI. The other ladies had the bowl of bones, which is the picky wings fried with fresh jalapenos and tossed in Coca-Cola cherry barbecue sauce. I've had this before. It is spicy and it's pretty good. It's available only during the party. And then they also have a buffalo chicken hand pie, which I had last year. And it's buffalo chicken and mozzarella wrapped in a flaky dough and topped with blue cheese crumbles and buffalo ranch. Again, only available during the party. And this is one of those, if you really have to kind of like buffalo chicken or buffalo sauce to like this one. I mean, it's very, a lot of blue cheese in this one, a lot of buffalo.
See, I don't like blue cheese or buffalo sauce, really.
Yeah,
so that combo,
you would have hated this.
I never have been a big fan of,
But if you like that, you'll like this. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, it's just... It was good. It was good for that. So, and then we went over to Golden Outpost. Sorry, I always say this. Golden Oak Outpost. And there are 2 new dishes over there. One was the chocolate caramel tart. And that's a chocolate tart shell filled with chocolate ganache, caramel sauce, and caramel cream, topped with Twix cookie bar pieces and a chocolate piece. This is only available during the party, and it is new. This was delicious. This one was a 8.5 out of 10. I would get this again. It was very rich, so please share this. But it was so good. I like Twix. I like caramel. It was a hit for me. Like no complaints, no notes. Just the fact that it's really rich.
Okay.
And then we also got the sweet and spicy beignets. It's your berry and cayenne dusted beignets with chicory coffee chocolate sauce. And these are new, available during the party only.
Was it good?
It tasted like, no.
That does not sound like an appealing combo.
It wasn't for me. After having that Dole Whip thing with the chili lime seasoning and the mango together,
right?
This is another version of that, where it was like sweet berry with like cayenne and the coffee mixed together. It was not for me. It was not for me. I didn't like it at all. I had like 2 bites and I was like, y'all can have the rest of this.
Yeah.
Done. But somebody else got the regular beignets. I'm like, this is what I need.
See, you just
get the regular ones.
Keep it simple. Yeah.
But if you do like a mixture of those kind of flavors, again, this would be for you. But for me, I would not get this again. Berry, cayenne, and coffee and chocolate. Chocolate sauce had to be dipped a lot.
That seems like quite the combo.
We had to dip a lot of that into that chocolate sauce. Then we saw the Dapper Dans and the Hitchhiking Ghosts, which those appear across the walkway thing above Country Bears in like Frontierland over there. Yeah. And the Hitchhiking Ghosts were great. This is new this year. Their costumes kind of glowed like blue and iridescent. It was kind of cool effect. And then we got a magic shot of the Hitchhiking Ghosts in one picture, and then the Headless Horseman in another in Liberty Square. And those were pretty quick. No, have to wait for long for that. Then we checked out the merchandise. We got a party pass holder shirt, which I took a picture of. And then they have a lot of event exclusive merchandise like Hocus Pocus stuff. They've got a spirit jersey, glow in the dark shirts, a lug bag this year, mouse ears, ornament, pins, mugs, shot glasses, etc. But I got a pass holder shirt. That's what I got.
I saw that.
Yes, you did. Yeah. Then we watched Disney's Not So Spooky Spectacular, which is the fireworks show. And again, this starts at 10, only showing they do for the party.
Was it the same show they've had the previous years?
Same show as previous years.
It's a good show.
It's a great show. Jack Skellington puppet comes out and dances and speaks as the show goes on. And we were pretty far back, so we couldn't see him super well, but well enough to still enjoy the show.
Yeah.
So we were about... we were standing in front of the confectionery that far back.
Oh, okay.
So we were pretty far back on Main Street.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was still a great show. Love it. Favorite part is with the skeletons dance and all that stuff. Highly recommend that one. And then we met Mickey Mouse right after that because he had a new costume this year. It was like a magician spider thing.
Mickey.
Yeah. And when we went, it was only a 5-minute wait because everybody was watching the fireworks.
Yeah.
And we were close down Main Street. We're like, let's go. So we're running. She's running with the baby. Poor thing. He had a blowout on the way there. So we had to stop a little bit. And she's like, trying to change him as quickly as she can. Cause it's like, the 5-minute wait, it's getting longer. People are coming.
Right.
So she was so good. She was trying to do as fast as she can, but, and Mickey looked great.
I gotta let this thing.
And Mickey looked great in his suit. So of course that was great to see him. And by the time we got back there too, by the way, Jack and Sally were only a 20-minute wait. So if you want to meet Jack and Sally and you don't care about seeing like the end of the fireworks, go then.
Yeah.
Like for real.
I've heard people say that before too, but that's not probably a bad idea.
When we first got there, it was a 100-minute wait at like 4:45.
Jeez.
It was crazy. So then I got Jared some coffee. You think Jared wasn't with you? No, he was not. But he texted me and said, "Can you get me some coffee from Starbucks?"
No.
And I go, sure.
I said, if it's not going to impose too much on you, if you could bring me back some, I would appreciate it, but you don't have to.
Well, do you want to explain your trick in case people don't know?
I've talked about it before, but basically I like a I do like pumpkin cream cold brews, but I like cold brews with like the foam stuff. So instead of like in the mornings, you got to like wait till you're in the park and there's a huge line. If you're in the parks late, you just get so this one was a caramel cream cold brew. Get it without ice and then the cream on the side, and then you take it back in your hotel room, put it in the fridge, and you wake up in the morning, you still have the foam, and you just have your coffee first thing in the morning.
Yeah. And I had to get this at about 10:45 because we were going to watch the parade next, and after the parade, the park closes. So I was like, well, I got to get it now. So I had a coffee in this little coffee carrier thing from about then until I got back to the room, holding it on the bus, holding it during the fireworks or during the parade. Holding it amazing.
Thank you for.
I was like,
thank you for doing that.
No. So I got that, and I did some magic shots on my own on Main Street, right on the way to get some coffee. It was a dancing skeleton one. There was a Huey, Dewey, and Louie one, and another one I can't remember what it was, but did some magic shots there. Then we watched the parade, the Boo to You parade. No changes this year.
I was going to
last year.
Whatever that means, changes. Okay.
No changes. But again, one of my favorite parades. It's not my favorite, but it's one of my favorite parades. It's always enjoyable. Best thing ever is the shovels, the Haunted Mansion graveyard crew or whatever, dragging the shovels. Best thing ever. And FYI, Powerline Max is back this year, dancing with his crew and everything, but only on Main Street. He does not come into Town Square. We were in Town Square, and last year he did, and he didn't come this time. So that was something we noticed. So it was midnight once the party ended, and we just left. I got back to the room about 12:45 with my coffee in the carrier.
Thank you again.
I was like, I literally was
feel
about to
bad.
drop it like so many times.
I thought you could just got it before you left. I'm sorry.
I couldn't. Like I was
you're a good wife. I won't bother you with it next time.
No,
Thank
it's
you,
fine. You asked me, and I did it.
You did, and I appreciate it.
Some things I did not do because I did do a lot at this party, but I wasn't going to get to everything, and that is okay. I didn't do Hocus Pocus Villain Spelltacular. That's the Hocus Pocus show they do a couple times a night. I have seen this show. It is the same every year. I enjoy it immensely, but I just did not have time this year. It's just a whole bunch of like Dr.
Well, you have to pick and choose what you want to do with these parties.
Absolutely.
You can't do everything.
Absolutely. This one plays like 3 times a night right now, and then they add another showing later in the Halloween season. But yeah, it's great. They're casting a spell on everybody in Magic Kingdom, and Dr. Facilier and Oogie Boogie and Maleficent all come to help, and yeah, it's great. It's fun. I love it. Disney Junior Jam at Cosmic Rays. Didn't go by there. Done that. Been there. Don't need to do it again. Love my kids, but that's what they love to do.
That's true.
Rusty Cutlass, the Pirate Band in Adventureland. Didn't get to see that one, but we saw them last year. The attraction overlays, we did not do Space Mountain in the dark because I just can't ride Space Mountain. Sorry. Mad Tea Party. Can't ride that one either. Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. We did walk through when we got our treats, but we didn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just kind of a version of like the attraction.
Yeah.
Just in a different version. But I wanted to try some more food and drinks at Sleepy Hollow. I wanted to stop there if I could. Didn't get to do that, but that's okay. You can also book dining reservations at Cinderella's Royal Table, Be Our Guest, or the Plaza during the party. I don't recommend doing this because that's a big chunk of time you're using for a dining reservation when you can do that at a different time.
It's true.
Than the party. So I don't recommend doing this. Disney's Not So Spooky Spectacular Dessert Party. You can either do Tomorrowland Terrace or Plaza Garden Viewing area. Again, it's a party within a party. It's an inception party, as you like to say. You can do this, but there's enough going on and there's enough food you can try. And really, you can get a good spot for the fireworks without having to do this. So again, this is not something that I would recommend unless it's just something you just have to try. You don't have to do it. Like it's not a must.
Right.
And then meeting and seeing some of the villains. So I didn't get to see Cruella in Market Street. I didn't get to see Gaston by his tavern. Lady Tremaine usually meets by Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. Anastasia and Drizella were near Pinocchio Village House.
Hoose,
sorry. And then Maleficent and Evil Queen, they're actually in Princess Fairy Tale Hall, and I heard that they were amazing and didn't get to do them as well. Almost did, but didn't get to. Sometimes these villains like move around, so this is what it was the night we went. And then other characters you can meet Jack and Sally, Maribel and Bruno, Aladdin and his friends, Moana, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, and Goofy. They had a wait of like 75 minutes all night.
I can see that.
I wanted to meet them. Didn't have time. Pooh and Friends, Captain Jack, Ariel and Prince Eric, Belle, Alice and Mad Hatter, and Queen of Hearts, and Tweedledee and Dum. Seven Dwarfs are not there this year. They are not meeting at this party.
Okay.
That was a disappointment.
I wonder why.
I don't know. They've met at the party for years. And just this year, they just decided not to do it. I don't know.
Interesting.
But if you're going to meet the Seven Dwarfs, you will have to do a different event, I guess, than this. But anyway, so that's all I didn't get to do. I already talked about what we did do. I did have a really good time.
Well, I was going to ask you, what compared to years past, was it about the same or different?
Yeah, it's about the same. The only thing that was different this year was some of the food and drinks I tried.
Right. But it's essentially the same party.
But it's the same party. I mean, if you love the same party and you love the dressing up in costumes and you loved, trick or treating and stuff, like do the party. It's fun. If you're going to experience something brand new, I mean, then maybe not.
Well, and that's always been said about the party. It's consistent in that way. So it is good for the fact of like, if you haven't done it before, it's easy to recommend and say, it's a good party to do. If you've done it before, and I guess you could answer this, like the repeatability of it.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I guess on some of you can't do everything.
Right.
So you got to pick and choose. So you could pick and choose other things. But it always is pretty consistently the same party. So for that way, repeatability may not always be there. But
yeah, I mean, and it's one of those things where if you want to use this as a park day in lieu of like a day on your ticket, you could do that as well.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
It does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And you can spend even less than you would on a park day. If you were just doing like one day at Disney and be like, hey, just do the party and you know what I mean?
I've seen. Yeah, I think that's something that makes a lot of sense to do.
Absolutely. But yeah, I had a ton of fun and everybody was so fun in our little group and it was great.
Well, good.
I'm glad I did it.
I'm glad you had fun.
I'm sorry you didn't get to do it this year, but
it's okay.
That's okay.
I got some things done and it was fine. It was. I chilled out by the pool. And it was actually, the weather was actually really nice. So I was just kind of.
By the way, it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't super bad. It was hot for like 15 minutes.
Once the sun went down.
7 o'clock.
Yeah. I mean, it was a tad bit humid, but it wasn't bad. So I just had the laptop by the pool and just kind of hung out and had a couple of drinks. And I had my own party.
Yes. Oh, by the way, people always ask, did it feel really busy? Not as bad as years past.
Okay.
It really didn't. It didn't feel as packed as it has in the past. Now, people were, riding the rides and doing all the party stuff. Maybe they just have figured out a better way to spread out the crowds. And Tiana's was open for the party on standby. There was no virtual queue for her. There was no, lighting lane.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some people in line for that because that line got to 55 minutes on the night. So I can tell you, like, some people were using party time to go ride that.
Well, I think that's the thing is finding that balance where
consider.
there's enough stuff to do to where it doesn't feel super packed. We've been to parties in years past where it's seemingly that they oversold it.
Right. But what I'm saying is because Tiana's is new and this is like a new situation, I feel like maybe some people where they would have been other places
they went to
years past, they went to ride Tiana's.
That makes sense.
Same thing with Tron. It was a standby now. There's no virtual queue during the party for that one either. So that's also something to consider.
That probably helps a lot.
Yeah.
So, in terms of crowds. Okay.
Yeah,
Anything else you want to add about the party?
I don't think so. Just had a great time, and I'm sure maybe do it next year. Hopefully, new stuff happens next year.
Yeah. Now we will be doing, and I will be going as well. We'll do the Christmas party. We're gonna go.
Yay.
We're gonna take everybody this year to do the Christmas party. So
that I'm very much looking forward to.
We were talking about this. I was like, you do the Halloween party. I'll do the I like the Christmas party better, anyways.
Yeah.
And having done the Halloween party, I mean, did I go last? I went last year. Did I go last year?
I don't. Did we go last?
I don't know. I've been a bunch of times, and it doesn't. It's a good party. It doesn't change a lot. So I was just like, you go do it, and I'll just do some other stuff. So
yeah.
But So well, thank you for sharing your experience.
Thank you. I tried my best. I don't know if I spoke too fast, but I was like, I have a lot to say.
It sounded as normal as it has on the past 500 some odd episodes.
Great.
So
perfect.
I think you've got the cadence nailed down.
Thank you.
Good job.
All right.